me.
Hello and welcome to episode 5. This was a very close game and then struggling in the early game, but clutching it and coming back.
I'm dead.
Time for the
Aww.
kings to bow.
Rampage.
Oh!
You can't be serious.
First of all, talking about draft, I think their draft makes a lot of sense. I've critiqued their previous drafts about not really making sense together or being really bad against enemies' team comp. We had the draft earlier in the first episode where you had Asir and Ivern versus a lot of range. It was hard for you to really reach and it was hard to find engages. Whereas in this game, you have a lot of engage, but also a lot of range. With Bard ult, Maokai and Movement Speed Cho'Gath being an option, you have a lot of ways to start fights and make picks with Jhin W. And enemy team is really vulnerable to what you have. Enemy team is really vulnerable to your poke. Sivir can only realistically spell shield one thing. Karma can only shield so many people. Can't Mantra E always. So I think your draft makes a lot of sense together. You have really good champions together. You can attack side lane with Maokai R and Bard roams and Bard ult. So I think the draft makes a lot of sense. So good job on this. However, their draft is very hard to play in early game. And I think a better team and a better competition will just make them struggle a lot in early game to the point where their draft is no longer good. But I always think that at this level of play, it is not that important, your matchups and your early game compared to your team fight and your team comp overall. Cho'Gath dies. Now, Neme TPs to top lane. Now what this means is Neme gets a lot of gold, but also Jace versus Gnar is a good matchup for Jace. One play I want LR to consider here, with the fact that them having Jhin versus Karma Sivir, he is not really that in danger. Enemy bot lane easily ends up pushing and Jhin can just farm in the tower, can farm with traps, farm with W. Maokai wants to puff up anyways. I think one play Reckless can do here, because he hits level 6 in Fog. I think if he looks to roam to top lane here, he's very likely to make a good play happen for him and his Jace. Because he's going to hit 6 in Fog from these chimes. Enemy Gnar very often here might just die to a gank from the Bard. And Gnar also has no flash for this minute. So I think that's one play that LR has. Another play I think they have is what they did, which is to fight this Drake. I honestly think this Drake fight should be winning, but I don't like how they play it. So let's look at it. Cho'Gath TPs. Now, they go through bot lane, but then their bot lane is not making any space. What I mean by that is, Bard here has two options. Go through mid with the Cho'Gath, and then Jhin can connect with ulti. Or, Bard should go through here, but then they need to engage the fight. For example, Bard could portal here into the fight, and then the Jhin can just come through here. That's one way. Maokai should also ulti a little bit earlier in my opinion. He ulted like very late here. But you see, these guys are way too late to the fight now, and they tunnel really hard on Karma, and now there's nobody going on the Trist and Lilia, which are the people we actually need to go on. So I do think this fight makes a lot of sense. That's why I'm saying if Reckless doesn't want to go here, I think it's fine to contest the Drake, but they have to play it fast, because their advantage is that Sivir is catching the wave now. If you don't play it fast, and you don't turn over here, you don't actually have an advantage, I think. So yeah, I think Maokai ulti earlier, and either Bard comes through here, and then Jhin ultis from here, or Jhin just goes here, Bard just portals on and start auto-attacking them. I don't see how Bard can die here, honestly, if Bard portals in. Because if they turn on Bard here and they make the fight happen here, then Maokai ulti will be really insane. In general, if you can force people to fight in a choke like this, and you have Maokai ulti coming, it's almost always winning for the Maokai team. But yeah, a bit of hesitation from LR. Cho'Gath is playing it really fast, so it's easy to say as well that the Baus is playing it too quickly now with how slow these guys are playing. But I think, in my opinion, these guys playing slow is what's wrong. Because if you do play it slow, then you buy time for Sivir to get ready, clearing the wave and coming as well. After the Drake situation, I don't feel like Velia understands what he wants to play for next. What I mean by this is, when you are Maokai in this situation, if you clear these two camps, you're going to end up here, right? My rule is, if you're going to take this, then you're going to play here. If you're going to take this, then you're going to play here. Let's do a speed up. Maokai does this. Now the game is really awkward, because he now goes for top camps, and now you would assume he's going to play here, right? But he correctly makes it down to bot lane, which is where he should go, in my opinion. But now he's so late. let's go back and let's look at it in normal speed. So, I want Maokai to go immediately top camps. Why? Because I also want him to play bot side. I think it makes sense to end up bot side. I think with enemy having Mega Gnar for the grubs and their mid being so strong, I am not confident either in really trying to contest those grubs, even if that means enemies getting 5 grubs. I think going immediately top camps and ending up bot side faster is better. Here, Lilia, after winning this fight, having so much gold, and with Lilia not knowing where you're going, because here Maokai clicking like this does not mean he's going here or here. Your bot camps are not going to get taken here. No jungler as Lilia here is going to take your bot camps, not knowing where you're going with Dragon coming up after winning this fight. So Maokai going top camps allows him to go bot side faster. Which means if you look now, imagine here, Bard and Maokai already can be around here soon. If Maokai started his top camps before he did his 2 bot camps, he could be finishing Raptors now, and then you would have Bard and Maokai come mid, remove enemies Tristana's pink ward and their vision, and then you would have mid push. Why does that matter? Because you're going to see now, enemy's going to put Tristana and Sivir here on bot lane. Sivir's going to recall and Karma, and Trist is going to defend bot turret while they're doing grubs. This was kind of smart play by enemy team. Basically, if you want to give these grubs as LR, then you must be able to at least get a lot of plates and potentially dive the other guy on side. However, with Maokai's bad pathing, he is way too late on this bot wave. It's also too late to influence this mid wave as well. Tristana just walks around and face checks and makes it down to bot lane. None of this should be possible if Maokai clears more efficiently, in my opinion. Now, next thing is, if Maokai is going to be late, whether it's because it was good what he did or it was bad, so in this case it's bad that he was late, but if he's going to be late, these guys should still slow push the wave so that they can sync the wave with Maokai coming. And they can at least still try to dive. The problem with that though is that then you do allow Karma to get here, but it is better than what they did. Still though, Maokai's pathing was bad and he should already be here, but however, mistakes happen and now Reckless and Crowley should adapt in my opinion, and just slow push allowing Maokai to come. Jace gets a lot of plates, that was good, and then now you see the waves already crashed, Tristana gets this wave, and that is a disaster. After all of this, what I didn't like is, you take a look at Jin's gold, he's going to end up with Collector now after all of these mid waves. I think, in general, the win con you have right now, despite Neme being 0-2, right, ignore that he's dead 2 times, despite all of this, Jace versus Gnar is a very good matchup for Jace. Over time now, Jace is slowly going to beat the Gnar simply through poke. So, again, I want Maokai to end up on top side. You're going to see a common trend throughout this game that Maokai ends up everywhere I don't want him to be. Right now, Jin can just push and base for Collector. Bard can get wards back for free. Maokai can remove top camps and they can play through the Jace and set the Jace up. You have Cho'Gath chilling on bot lane. I don't see why you're doing all of this here and camping in this bush and making your Jin stay with Collector in base, make Bard with no wards stay so we can hide in this bush and hope that enemy team just dies. It doesn't make sense. These guys have both sums up. Sivir has spell shield. These guys should never ever find a way to die here. Compare this to Bard having 4 wards ready coming here and Jin coming with this wave with Collector. Playing topside with Jace is how you're going to like slowly win this game. As you can see, looking at how Nem is playing the lane, Gnar will slowly be losing. It's just a matchup. Gnar Jace. But Jace is playing no vision and his team is showing here. I want you to look how Gnar starts to play the moment these guys show here. Gnar now sits here, looks for Neme. Now Neme is too good, so he dodges the Gnar W. If he didn't though, he could get even more chunked. And as you can see, they die on mid as well. So, you know, to make matters worse, we do this play and it's obviously bad. This play shouldn't even be a fight in the first place. Like I said, 3 people sitting in here versus double sums and Sivir having spell shield. If Karma just stands here speeding Sivir up, you can't ever even reach the Sivir. So yeah, it didn't make sense. Next play that I think didn't make sense, and it kind of plays into what I have been saying, which is I don't like where Velia ends up. Here, Velia is respawning. Where do we want to play? If we want to play Dragon, we need to remove top camps and end up bot side. If we want to give Dragon and play topside, we have to open on our bot camps. Instead, however, you see Veigar, he's not aware of his camps, he goes to his top camps, with his bot camps spawning, which anyone that plays jungle will realize this, and as you can see here, it's him that have taken them. So he should be aware of these things when he's playing. And this is a problem because he's not going to beat Lilia 1v1. And if Jace is going to play topside, which is who he should want to play through, and he now is respawning, he must go his bot camps so that Lilia can't get dragon and also his camps. But you see, Veigar goes to top camps. Now he's forced to either play to Jace side and have camps up, or enter his bot side away from Jace. The Jace is way stronger than the Cho'Gath, and this is where enemy team wants to play anyways. So enemy team does a good play here, punishing him, going into his camps, and is unplayable. It doesn't matter that Bard is here. Even if Bard is here, you're not going to fight these guys, okay? You're not going to fight them. Like, Lilia is just going to stack passive and just beat you up. Obviously, she can't chase like that if Bard was here, but you're still going to lose your camps. And as you can see, Cho'Gath is not going to beat the Gnar. So this is unplayable for Veigar, and is why I want him to just realize which side are we playing to. If Jace is top and we're going to play to Jace's lane, then we have to go to bot camps and just remove our bot camps and end up topside. After that, we have a bit of a funny 1v1 here. Nothing much to talk about, just want to show it, it's pretty funny. Look, Tristana. There's so much funny things here. First thing, Tristana's E. And then Neme's flash. And then Tristana's kiting. Kiting away from Jace instead of standing melee. And then Tristana's flash. Epic. Epic fight. Next actual point is here. Neme does a really good play after Herald. You see here, Jhin got this wave. Now Neme manages to cheat the next wave. What I mean by cheating the next wave, I mean taking a wave you shouldn't realistically be allowed to take. Because of maybe enemy could punish you, maybe enemy could like catch you on rotation, stuff like this. So what I don't like though about it is, what is bro doing? The bows, hello? Bot wave is pushing into him. Now you force your Jhin to either go mid and FF bot, or Jhin to go bot. But if Jhin goes bot, why wouldn't you want Jhin to be mid? In my opinion, what should happen now for Los Ratones is, when Jace does this play, I want Maokai to trust in his team and farm these camps. In general, when you play jungle, when you have these camps up, it really limits you. What I mean by that is, Maokai can't make a play here if these camps are up. Because Lilia, if she's smart and she ends up checking her camps, if she clears all of this, she becomes a monster and a win condition of herself, right? I want Maokai to farm. Jace and Bard can look for this wave by themselves. Maokai is not needed here. Bard can easily give Jace a portal and they can try to cheese this wave. I want Maokai to remove his camps so he can go for the next play, because taking this wave should not interfere with the overall game plan. If taking this wave interferes with the plan of the game, then it's not good to do this. And what I mean by interfering with the plan of the game is, if we need everyone on EU West server to come and help us take this wave, then it's not really a good wave to go for. But I think, if you look at Neme's map here, it was smart what he's doing, because he has a lot of wards, so looking to cheat this wave made a lot of sense. And it should give LR a lot of tempo, but it ends up not actually giving LR tempo, because Baus ends up taking this wave from Jhin, Jhin ends up going here, and now Maokai ends up trying to farm this, which is not why we're doing the wave in the first place. And Maokai should just be removing camps, Bard should be getting wards, and then Jace, by removing that wave, he can just find a group timer, and then we can hit this turret on this wave with Jhin and everyone coming. We should be able to get tempo and do something. Even if we don't want to hit the tower, you see how much time Jace has? Look. Jace could do so much. He could come mid and poke and do things, but instead Maokai did the Krugs and stuff, and it just gets so confusing. It just doesn't really make sense. I don't know why Baus is mid, and now Jhin has to go here, and then Jhin has to play so scared because he's against a Gnar that solo kills him. So now Crowny is like so afraid. A very, very confusing sequence, and didn't really make sense. So, you'll see here, bot turret is gone, this turret is gone. Now LR has tempo on the map. You see LR has push on this wave, and on this wave. So they have a very nice timer to just kind of group on mid and hit the tower with Cannon Wave. But like mentioned in the other episodes, for some reason LR is allergic at using their side pushes. So, let's break it down. Bard can come to mid on this wave. Instead of doing this, I think Bard should always collect that chime, come to mid, help us get some vision down with Maokai. We see the Gnar and we know that Tristana is respawning, so we know we're safe to face check anywhere that we want. Then we should get good wards down, and then Jhin with RFC can easily come and hit the tower with us. This should be good use of our tempo, because what else are we really gonna be doing? Jhin ends up hitting Raptors. Surely we can all agree going on this mid wave and Jace just slow pushing it is surely better use of Jin's time. If Maokai and Bard and Cho'Gath are all thinking about this mid turret, Sivir is never ever hitting the wave like this. There's no world ever that Sivir is gonna hit the wave like that. If this Maokai is actually thinking about this, we don't need Maokai ulti for this. Bard standing here giving portal to Maokai and running at this guy with Jace poke and Jace going in when we know that these guys are way too far to ever be here. It's a free tower. And I don't understand why LR can't see these things in game. Because it should feel really natural when you crash this wave and this wave crashes. It should just be like, well, we know Trist will go here and we know Gnar will go here. So if we hold this wave a little bit and buy time for these guys to come to mid, we should be able to get this tower. And it's true, yes, they're going to push here after and they're going to push here after. But that is only bad if Drake is up soon. Drake is up in 2 minutes. If Drake was up in, like, let's say 50 seconds, right? If Drake was up in 50 seconds, I would never want LR to go 5 people mid for this tower. Because then enemies going to get a lot of tempo on sides and you can't play the map. But here, there's so much dead time in the game, you should always do this. I think here, when LR does this dragon, after doing Drake, they need to realize Tristana is pushing top lane. Which means you either have to defend this turret, or you have to give this and get the same, if not more, yourself. Otherwise, the game will be really awkward. So option 1 is you rush the Drake and you get it ASAP, and then the people needed recalls and defend topside and you retake topside. Option 2, Jhin stays mid here, you ignore all of this, you stay mid, you get the next mid wave high up in the lane, so that you can group on bot lane, and Jhin ulti them, Maokai ulti them, all of these things, so that you can get the tier 2 yourself. I think that's an okay play. Tristana will be very fed, yes, but so will you, and you're gonna get this mid turret with the Herald, and all of this. I think that's a fine play as well. But you have to do one of those two things. Instead, what LR does is, they do the Drake, and then they chase this guy, so now nobody is taking this mid wave, which means that Jhin now doesn't want to go to the bot turret, because if he does, and Lilia pushes here, then you lose the mid tower as well. So now Crowley goes back to mid, but this means now since he's mid, he's not a part of this play, and Maokai is here instead of ulting, so now you don't actually get the tier 2 turret. And now Tristana gets a tier 2 turret on top. So I didn't like this sequence at all. Next thing is here. This play ended up being good for LR. This play ended up being good, but I think it's a little bit rushed off a Baron. Again, with their team comp, they have a lot of poke. It should be very hard for enemy team to ever really retake a position, right? Anyone on enemy team is dead if they face check like a Maokai ulti, or they take Jhin ult to the face, or Jace poke, right? So when you get this wave, and it's not like you got the wave high, when you clear the wave like this, and next wave is like already coming, I think you should first just get vision, get a nice vision line going, because you see here, you still have wards that you would like to clear. I think they should push up in enemy jungle, with Maokai everyone, throw saplings, throw some Cho'Gath Qs, poke the enemy team out once, take the next wave high up in mid, and then go for the Nash. Yes, I know they have a lot of like Baron damage and all of this, they have Cho'Gath ult and stuff, but this is enemy team's best fight. When you're all stuck in a pit like this, if they get a couple of autos from Sivir Ricochet and stuff, you're gonna get chased out by Sivir ult and stuff like this. Now, LR is really winning, yes, I get that. And yes, I know they can secure the Baron. It's not about securing the Baron or not with Cho'Gath ult, right? I obviously know they can do that. But you have to look at it from enemy team's perspective. They're sitting here with blue trinket up at Sivir, starting Baron immediately for no reason other than, oh, we pushed one mid wave. I don't think that's good fundamental way to start Baron. Because if you can start Baron here, there's no reason why you can't just start it next wave as well. The only thing you can argue for is that Drake is spawning. So you could say, oh, but if they do it on next wave, enemy can trade Drake for Baron. Yeah, I mean, sure, they can do it. It's not like they're going to get sold, though. And with that logic, enemy team, if they give this Baron now, and they run it down mid and push mid, they can still have position for this dragon. That doesn't change, you know? Which here, you'll see now, yes, Los Ratones has Baron, but enemy team, if they wanted to, they could have everyone here now and have full vision control. They are just too bad to do it. If this was like a higher level game, this pink would never exist now if you're giving Baron, this plant would be used, and LR would have to face check enemy team on this Drake. So I don't think that's a real argument for the Baron start. I would be much more comfortable, if I was LR, to simply push the mid, establish vision, have Cho'Gath shift down, take one more wave high, and then poke them a bit and then just do it. More likely you're going to get some picks as well, and the Baron will have more value. With that being said though, from this onwards, they just steamroll the game, they group up, they run over the game, they run everywhere on side. Like I said, they have Bard, very strong champion at playing side, much better than Karma at running around the map. And I like that they ended up playing the game that way. I just really wish they would have played that way over here as well.
Je t'ai rencontré simplement et tu n'as rien